Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 18 of Views from Paulys podcast. You know what it is, you know how it is, you know how it go down. But yeah, you know it's your boy, your humble host, Pauly Mote Ange Jr. And I'm so glad you guys have joined us on this journey. And this is episode 18, Olodo Uprising. Giskia. So for you guys who follow the Nigerian entertainment scene and the trends, you guys know what I mean when I say Olodo Uprising. But for y'all who don't know what Olodo Uprising means, Olodo is a term that's coined by Nigerians in our pidgin English, which represents the word dumb. You know, so the reason I bring that up is we got a little bit of a trending moment with Ycee. He's a Nigerian artist, a really big artist. He's done his time and paid his dues, and he's dropped a couple of hit singles, Juicy, amongst many others. But yeah, so he was on a podcast called Afropolitan, and he literally coined that term. He said he didn't, but he brought it to light. You know, the term Olodo Uprising, when he was talking about you know, the streamers now and all that. But we'll get into all of that. But this is episode 18. You know, we're going with Unstoppable, with fresh bangers, massive festival moments, and global milestones. You get me, from Joshua Baraka and also from Ycee, Olodo Uprising. But we're gonna start with Joshua Baraka and Jorja Smith with Joshua Baraka and Jorja Smith hitting up the clubs, you know, to Rema owning Paris, Wizkid shutting down Afro Nation Portugal, Burna Boy breaking records, you know, big up thankfully the release of the Oyo children, like so many updates and rescues on the rescue and dramas, you know. Sorry guys, I'm in a good vibe, you know. It's a good vibe, it's a good episode. We're covering it all in advance, so let's get straight into it. Get me, Joshua Baraka dropped another single, What Do I Know? Man, like, I love it. I love that single. Big ups, Joshua Baraka. You know, you guys don't know what we do here in Paulys podcast. Talk about music, entertainment, trying to bridge the gap, you know, between our entertainment and the diaspora's view of our entertainment. Trying to give them an in-depth view on how to appreciate and how to tag our artists. And not just give our artists best Afrobeat artists in their awards shows just because they're too lazy. So hopefully this podcast gives them an in-depth view on how we look at our artists and the genres of their songs and how we break it down and not just tag it all in Afrobeats. But yeah, so like I was saying, Joshua Baraka dropped What Do I Know? A new single. I know Joshua Baraka is known for his signature Bashman vibes. There's a bad boy in that Bashman thing, and his consistent sound. Following up his previous hit with this new single, What Do I Know is an absolute club banger. Great vocals, smooth production, and ingenuity shine through as always. You guys know the boy Joshua Baraka. You know, he's comfortable in his element without chasing trends. That's why I really like his sound. You know, that boy he's not trying to be like every other artist. He's very, very good at what he does and he sticks to it. Some people say you should grow in your sound, but for now this works and I like it. You know, fans are loving the consistency and the vibe, straight up. You know, I can't play the music, guys, unfortunately. You know how YouTube do, but you guys go check it out. You know, Joshua Baraka has delivered again. You know, signature sound, like I said, great vocals. This one's a proper club banger. He had hopped in to Nigeria with that, his Blacka, yeah, hey. Just touch that Morocco. That's a team. I don't want to issues with YouTube, but yeah, that was his first single. I can't remember the name, but that was how it went. He got really big off that. His first hit single, I should say, because he's an artist who's been doing a thing for a minute, but his first international hit single per se. And he came down to Nigeria, did a few in Lagos, did a few shows, and now he's come back with this one. Big ups. Y'all let me know what you think about the single if you've listened to it. What do you think about Joshua Baraka? Do you think he's been consistent? What do you think about him? His Bashman sound, do you like it? I love it, and I think he's one of the artists from Africa that's really going to represent us on the global stage properly. I really like his vibe. Big ups, Joshua Baraka. Now I'm going to go into, you know, the OG himself, Big Wiz. You know, Big Wiz featuring the beautiful, phenomenal Jorja Smith. You know, they came through with this beautiful, amazing song and banger called Alive. And you know, Jorja Smith is one of the best vocalists in the UK for me as a female artist, and you know, she had gone on that track with Burna Boy, which was a smash hit, and then she comes on this single with Wizkid, which is a smash hit. I think it's the first time they're working together. But Jorja Smith linked with Wizkid for a highly anticipated collab, blending her soulful style with the Afrobeats energy, like proper banger. Alive, the name of the song, is an absolute banger, smooth fusion that's getting heavy rotation, strong streams and positive reactions, highlighting the chemistry. Like the chemistry between Wiz and Jorja was just insane on this single. Like y'all go listen to it. I really like it. Jorja and Wizkid created magic, absolute banger, straight up. International Afrobeat heat. You're gonna be hearing this single in the UK and the States and their ones like facts. It's really, really good, and I would like to get you guys' take on this song, on this single. What you guys think about it? Do you think Jorja and Wizkid delivered? I feel they delivered. I really like the single. But I like, obviously, its interaction, it's a commentary thing. So let me know what you guys think about it as well. What you guys feel about it. Do you think Wizkid should have got someone else on the song? Or do you think they were a perfect combo? I loved it, like I said, but I'm waiting to hear you guys' reactions of it. Now we're going to the next single that I listened to, FOLA and Ayra Starr. That boy FOLA be consistent, and Ayra Starr as well, consistent, you get me, an amazing lyricist and vocalist. So imagine what this is gonna be, get me. But FOLA and Ayra Starr, the single called Treat You Right, it's an amazing single, dropped the official video as well, and FOLA and Starr teamed up for a romantic Afrobeats track. Like, actually, it was quite touching to see. Yeah, the video was really, really cinematic. I liked it as well, with FOLA running, I think he's like trying to run to the girl or something in the beginning, and it's just a really, really dope scene. FOLA is really, really cinematic in his videos, and I give credence to him on that. I think he kind of obviously talked Ayra Starr into doing the cinematic thing as well, but that was really dope to see. The official video is out, like I said. I just gave you guys a bit of my opinion on it. Beautiful song with smooth vocals and lovely lyrics about love and treating your partners right. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. That's what's up, FOLA and Ayra Starr. Fans are praising the chemistry and visuals, and always like people like, oh, are they going now? Nah. I think it's just a really beautiful song, and the chemistry is amazing. Seeing them on the video together, but she was the lead artist and lead girl in her own in her own part of the music. She wasn't his lead girl. He had some other girl that he was with when he was singing. So I don't think there's anything going on between both of them. But it was a really dope song to see, sweet, smooth, and heartfelt. FOLA and Ayra Starr nailed the love anthem vibe, and I think it's gonna definitely get some rotations in the club. But you guys, if you listen to it, let me know what you think. Do you like the song? Do you like the single? What do you think about FOLA and Ayra Starr coming together on this track? Do you think it was unnecessary, or do you think it was good? I give it a 9. It was a good one. Now I'm gonna go into this track. I have to talk about it because it's a comeback track for one of Nigeria's biggest artists at the time, Tekno. He came back with this track called Adaeze, and also an official music video as well. He's been away for like a few years, but he returned with this single. Adaeze, he dropped the video, which was smart because I don't think the audio would have done that well. Like, no disrespect. No disrespect to Tekno, but I don't think the audio would have actually done that well. But he dropped it with the video, which was alright, which was a smart move as well. Like I said, it was a regular Tekno sound. There was nothing new, because it was just his consistent sound, but it's just there. Like, if I'm being honest, like the industry has kind of grown past that. Like, the production was just, I think he did the production because Tekno was actually a producer before he became an artist. So I think he probably did the same thing that he usually does, thinking it was good. Yeah, it was alright. His loyal fans are gonna still rock with him. But personally, it was not just my thing. Not just a single I was feeling. I expected something better. Tekno's back in. Like, I thought it was gonna be something. But unfortunately it wasn't. Well, you guys tell me what you think if you've listened to Tekno's new song Adaeze. I'd really love to hear your viewpoint on it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the song, but y'all let me know what you think about it. Yeah, then now we're gonna go into the Big Wiz segment again. It's the Big Wiz. Big Wiz is just doing the thing anyhow, boy. So Big Wiz, like I said, He headlined Afro Nation Portugal. You get me, and it was an amazing, thing to see. Unfortunately, I didn't go Afro Nation. You're finna pull the Paulys them pot up thing. You get me. Bring us to that thing. Let's go cover the thing. You get me. It's a Paulys them pot thing. Hey, oh yeah. I watched it on YouTube, and it was dope to see the vibe. I watched it on social media, on IG. You know, like, people were going lit. Wizkid said he came out to party. Yeah. Nah, man. I loved it. Big ups to Afro Nation, man. They've been killing it consistent and growing each year. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see. Putting out people out at different parts of the world to party. I really love it. And like, the man them were out, Ycee and them. I saw them in the VIP section turning up for big ways. That was a mazza. That was really dope. Like, Wizkid. And what was crazy was when he said, they leave the best for last. I was like, Wiz. But that was dope. Big ups to Afro Nation, big ups to Wizkid for shutting that down. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see our Afrobeats taking over the world globally, and like Afro Nation doing things that are not just, you know, African in a sense, but on a corporate mad stage. Big ups to Afro Nation. You get me? Then also we've got Rema at Yardland Festival. He shot it down at the Yardland Festival. He headlined the final day in Paris, turning it into Remaland with custom giant bats, merch, games. He brought out Charlie Poppy. He brought out the Benin Boy gang. You know, Charlie Poppies, DL, famous Pluto. You know, for the Benin reunion on stage. That was beautiful, man. Big ups Rema. You know, and surprised with Soko's legend Awilo Lokumba. Rema shut it down still. Nah, the young man shut it down. He delivered his hits like, you know, Soweto remix, Kelebu, you know, and French fans called it the best Yardland ever. You know, some people even say they're gonna tell the kids about it. Like, I'm really happy about this. Yeah, I'm really happy about this, man. Like, big ups that boy Rema, man. Like, yo, it's a beautiful thing to see our Afrobeat sound and culture being accepted across the world. And then not just that our Nigerian artists are investing in their sets, investing in their performances. You know, they're bridging the gap. You know, let people see the value in our sound and appreciate it as much as they appreciate their own sounds as well. I really love it, and I'm so happy about that. Big ups Wizkid, big ups Rema on all their wins and all the, you know, the trends they're setting and the standards they're keeping so high, so people don't look down on our artists. You know, I have to say big ups for that. You get me? And then before, as I was talking about big ups, I got a big up Odogu. Sorry. Odogu. Yeah, Odogu himself, you get me? Burna Boy. So Burna Boy just hit a massive streaming milestone. You get me? Burna Boy has been a streaming powerhouse for years. He has been. But right now, man's just surpassed 10.3 billion Spotify streams, hitting 49.5 million monthly listeners on Spotify, becoming the top African artist on Spotify. Golly, overtaking Tyler and Thames Peaks, boy. Woo, woo. Big up Burna Boy. Oh my days, Odogu, you bad. Man, you bad. Yo, like, man's literally just overtook Tyler and Thames Peaks, like the peak of what they were being listened to. Burna Boy just overtook it, and obviously with the single Die that he did with Shakira for the World Cup, that was a huge boost to that. You know, he added on 141 million streams. Big us Burna Boy. Classics like Location got 722 million streams so far. Last song 593 million streams. Oh my days, and it drives daily gains like at least 9 million streams. Oh my days, no signs of weakness, keeps momentum. Oh my, look, it's insane. Odogu, nah, I think obviously the World Cup with the single "Die Die" with Shakira was a huge thing for this, keeping Burna in rotation and all that. But definitely you have to pay credence to his sound, his work ethic. You know how consistent he's been with his hits. You know, you can't take that away from Burna, and his lyrics are insane. So big ups, big ups, big ups. I'm so happy. Like Afrobeats is winning on a massive stage internationally, from Wizkid, you know, and Rema performing and setting the bar, you know, the standard for how a performance should be done and how a stage should be set, to Burna Boy breaking, you know, Spotify numbers. Like it's water to him. Like, no, Africa's #1 artist at the moment is Spotify. Man, big ups Burna Boy. That's so dope. Now, talking about Afrobeats, you know, I've talked about what Afrobeats artists be on and the entertainment culture as a whole. A young boy Ycee, who I had mentioned earlier in the start of the podcast, his comments, his Olodo Uprising comments. So Ycee brought in broader social discussions around education and social media fame in Nigeria, and he did that by the comments I had mentioned earlier when he said, "Oh, there's an Olodo Uprising in Nigeria." I'll explain what Olodo is. If you didn't get my explanation, please go back to the start and go listen. I'm not finna do it no more. But that Olodo means dumb. That's a Nigerian term for dumb, or a pidgin term for dumb. But anyway, yeah. So Ycee on the Afropolitan podcast criticized shifting values. He said Nigerian society is no longer celebrating academic excellence. Now we have the Pella culture. And the Pella culture, he says, this is the Olodo Uprising, massive, and he says it's a massive attack on the educational system, which is alarming. And this sparked, you know, a huge debate on youth priorities at the moment, and the accommodation of ignorance in Nigeria, and the insecurity that follows all of this. You know, obviously this is just a snippet of what he said, and it's just a sound bite, but this is what went viral. And the question as it stands at the moment is, what do I think about it? What do you guys think about it? Do you guys think Ycee is right? Do you think there's been an Olodo Uprising? Do you think we're losing our educational values? We're no longer celebrating educational achievement and wins, but we're stuck on the likes and whatever is going to make people view our channels, or view whatever is going to make money online. You know, I see a very, very valid point in what Ycee is saying, and like I said, no disrespect to Pella and them, you know, it's life sometimes. You don't choose the hands that you're dealt with. You just work with what you're dealt with, you know. But then once you've achieved a certain, or once you've made certain achievements in the hands that you've been dealt with, I believe it's then up to you how you want to be, how you want to represent yourself. Because if you what I mean by this is that a lot of people that go through a lot of things and they have no choice but to, you know, go live the life of debauchery, to be able to make ends meet, you know, and that can happen in any other way, in different type of ways, you know, doing Yahoo or whatnot. But whatever happens, some people get arrested and they don't make anything out of that, but some people actually make a lot of whatever out of that. Then once you've been able to make some achievements of that, as illegal as it is, whatever you decide to make of yourself at that moment is up to you. That's what I'm seeing this as. And it's quite unfortunate that we're at a point where the impression of what you have and what you can offer someone is more important than who you are as a person and your values and what you present. And I really, really resonate with what Ycee is saying, because we're at crossroads where we're fully assimilating the Western culture in terms of the entertainment, the social media, and all that, without having a structural educational foundation or structural educational system in place for our younger ones who are growing in this same moment of crossroads. I don't know if I'm making sense. So I feel like Ycee is literally just trying to say, look, we should, yes, we appreciate, or we look at the entertainment value in what these people who had no choice but do what they have to do online to get our attention and entertain us. Yes, we enjoy the entertainment value in that, but we should not lose ourselves and stop promoting actual achievements of people who are worthy of such achievements and fame from their hard work. And I think that's where he's coming from, and that's where I'm looking at it as. So in terms of the Olodo Uprising, it's a very factual thing, but at the same time, I feel like I said there are different reasons as to people going through everyone has a different roadmap basically. But then when you get to a certain point, if you're able to grow in that roadmap, when there's a certain point you get to where it's no longer about the roadmap now, it's about you choosing what roadmap you go on. You get me? Man, I go bars. But yeah, so that's my opinion on the Olodo Rising thing. The Olodo Uprising thing. But then you had still on the same topic, you had what's his name? The guy, I've forgotten his name, but he went on Honest Bunch podcast to say he's not an Olodo. Like basically what he just reiterated what I'm saying now, when he spoke about his life experiences and how he couldn't pay for school, and he was led into doing what he had no choice but to do, which was go on the internet and try to make some money to make ends meet, because he was even selling pure water to pay for his school fees. So like, I really need to get Portable. Yeah, his name is Portable. So Portable replied to Ycee's statement saying Olodo Uprising that, oh, do you know how much I have and all that. And like I said, he's literally talking about or reiterating my point of view, or I'm reiterating that point of view. I'm reiterating what he said in my point of view, basically, where I'm like, look, people go through different routes, but then when you get to a certain point, whatever route you're taking is your choice, and how you're viewed from that point on is up to you. So like I said, I think I'm fully on board with Ycee's opinion. It might have been delivered wrongly, but I'm fully on board with that opinion, and I think people should look past the statement and understand where he's coming from, like the point he's trying to pass across. That's just what I'm going to say on that. And then when another topic of Olodo Uprising again, we have some Olodos, the South Africans who are doing all this Xenophobia rubbish and Olodos, in my point of view. But I've listened to so many explanations online as to why they're doing this, and so many people try to break it down into reasons. I even had some South Africans come on my comment section talking Greece. One man was telling me how Nigerians this, that, and the third, and I calmly explained to the guy what Nigeria had done, how we had literally stalled our growth during the industrial boom to be able to help South Africa be able to grow, help the ANC party and all that. This guy in my comment section, I don't know if he doesn't understand English or what. No, man went to AI to go and say, oh, what did Nigeria do for South Africa? And literally, you just like, if you listen to this, go back and go read what I said to you on the messages of the last topic about your country. I said we helped build your country. This, and we gave you passports. I didn't say we gave it to all South Africans, but we gave it to people that matter, to be able to fight for your country. We lost a lot investing in your damn country. Do you understand? And then you had the South Africans telling me bare Greece about this, that, and the third. Anyway, so he went on AI, and then was trying to tell me how, and he went on AI, was trying to tell me what Nigeria actually did for South Africa, but then actually what he said is what I was literally saying, which is that Nigeria did this. The only thing AI did was list it out, and AI listed that it was for the ANC party and all that. While for me, all I was trying to let them know is that I didn't say we did it for all South Africans. I said we helped build. But anyway, that's besides the point. I don't want to go into that aspect right now, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to let you guys know what was going on. But yeah, so it is talking about Olodo Uprising. This South African, three South African ladies in Mozambique were chased out of a restaurant. Let's talk about Olodo Uprising, right? Anyway, ongoing fallout from South African xenophobic violence. This will happen in late May, early June, A video from in Hambane province shows a clash at a resort popular with South African tourists. Following the death and repatriations of different African immigrants from South Africa, excuse me. Repatriations of different Africans from South Africa back to different African immigrants from South Africa back to their African countries. There's been a lot of backlash towards South Africa, which I was trying to explain like earlier on before I started this topic as to why. That's what I was talking about in the previous episode about the backlash coming towards South Africans, and then I had the whole interaction with a couple of South Africans in my comment section in the last episode. But in this episode, I'm talking about another backlash. Literally, this is the growing backlash towards South Africans because, like I said, 3 South African women were chased out of Mozambique, a resort that is popular for South African tourists over in Mozambique. Doesn't this give you guys an idea of what you're doing to yourselves? You're literally alienating yourselves away from the whole continent for no actual reason, honestly, because your reasoning does not make sense. And why I say it doesn't make sense is because the actions you're taking. If you guys were going through the legal process per se, relying on your government to do their jobs, even though we know that's a tough decision to do. But you get what I'm trying to say, like you are not being so blatant and disrespectful about your actions, then maybe the backlash won't be so bad and you're killing other your African brothers and sisters. You're murdering them on the streets and your police isn't doing nothing. So what do you expect? Like the backlash is just going to keep growing and growing, and I really hope that Africans wake up before it gets too late. Because the backlash that's coming, I don't think you guys have even seen half of what's gonna come through towards you guys. So for my South African, because I actually have South Africans that friends that I love and that are really dear to me. So seeing this happen and then me have to talk about South Africans this way, it's like I can't lie. I because I have friends that are South African. Unfortunately, most of your South Africans don't like my people. Just your South African friends, the ones that I have are my friends. South Africa is not my friend. But I have a few South Africans that are my friends. And that's what makes it a bit difficult. But then I have to be real about it because these are the actions that, my friends, country, brothers or whatnot, citizens these are their actions, this is what they're doing. So I'm gonna have to talk about it and I have to call it out. Even though I'm being a hypocrite, I'm not being a real person. So with South Africa, I really hope you guys wake up and you guys actually realize the damage you're doing to your country, you've done, and how worse it's going to get when that backlash actually hits. Because it's not like before. It's not like the previous times you'll be doing your xenophobia stuff and it's on and off. No, this is different. The quicker you guys wake up, the better it's going to be for you. But you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about these 3 women being chased out of South Africa. As well as being chased out of Mozambique because their South Africans are made to go back to their country. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the backlash that South Africans are getting slowly, and how far do you think South Africans are actually going to take these actions that they seem so stuck on. I really want to hear you guys' opinions on this. And going on to the next topic, this is actually another Olodo Uprising situation. but like a funny way, because this had nothing to do with our own Nigerian people, but our own Nigerian people showing the educational side of things. Big up Shank, boy. But yeah, so Shank de-escalates a fight at a US carnival. Whoever said Nigerian boys like to fight too much, made it calm down. We're all about peace. We love peace out here. You get me? Nigerian boys are all about peace, fam. You get me? So, but yeah, Nigerian comedian Shank, known for his humor and improv, and his streaming and everything, it went viral again. There's a video that's gone viral in the US, from a US carnival where a group of white folks were fighting, like it was a brawl and everything. And Shanks just stood and was watching the whole thing. Yeah, he watched the whole thing go down. Like they're like 6 to 8 people, like full on bro, like full on bro. Then next thing you know, once it calmed down a bit, Shanks just went in there like yo. Next thing, man started dancing. And when he started dancing, the whole crowd went with him and they're like, oh, like, it was a vibe. So big ups to Shanks for doing that. Changing the whole vibe of things and making things fun. People really don't understand that we Nigerians, we've been through so much. Like we see laughter in most things that people would not be able to survive. Like a Nigerian is very resilient. So I'm not really surprised that I'm surprised he did it, but I'm not really surprised that he did it because like we just catch cruise most times, bro. Like no cap. The big ups to Shanks on that one. Big ups to representing us on the global stage in a great way and going viral without even realizing it, my guy. A mad thing, mad thing. You guys let me know if you watched the Shanks video. What you guys think about what he did? Was it a smart move? Imagine if that continue fighting, you know, lead the guy up. Well, thankfully it didn't happen, and once he started dancing, everyone got in the vibe, and everyone rushed him to dance. So let me know what you guys think about that video. What your view on it? Was it smart? Was it dumb? Was it cool? Give me your opinion and all that. Yeah. Then we're gonna go to Qatar FA visa being denied. This is his US visa has been denied, and it's quite sad, because Qatar FA is Africa's top streamer. Like on Twitch, there's no one can. I don't think there's anyone in Africa that can go close to Qatar FA on Twitch for his streams. You know, and he's actually been making a lot of money, and he's quite famous from his streams and all that. And he recently got selected for Ycee Streamer University, which is like a program Ycee does for like different streamers, teaching them about the game, how to brand themselves, and really dope and amazing opportunity. Shanks actually got the chance to go for it, and I think Shanks won it last year or 2 years ago. So actually a really dope program. But unfortunately for Qatar FA, even though he was selected for the Streamer University, his US visa was denied and he was blocked from his trip, which was quite sad. And actually, Ycee actually tried, put in some effort to try and get him over to the States, but nah, they weren't. The US wasn't having it. And the USCIS was like, nah, nigga. I'm sorry, I'm just joking, but yeah, it's unfortunate. And Qatar FA actually had a really emotional outburst. He was really sad. He was like, yo, we're trapped in this country, we're doomed. Unfortunately, I have to disagree with him, because there are other people that get in their visas approved, man. For whatever reason, they just didn't approve his visa, and it's sad, but I think you should just Qatar, just take this. Okay, just take it on the chest, bro. You're doing quite well for yourself. This would have been a great opportunity for you, that's true, but it's quite sad. God changes our disappointments into blessings. That's one thing I know for a fact. So, and I know there's a God. I know there's a God. No one can tell me there's no God. I know. So, bro, just believe in God. Keep your prayers. Keep grinding. And what's yours is gonna be yours. It's quite sad that didn't happen for you, but congratulations on being selected by that's even huge. Being selected at all is actually quite huge. So yo, that's a big ass thing. That's a big boy thing right there. Yeah, so big ups to you, Qatar. Big ups to you, Qatar. Don't sweat the small stuff. What's yours is gonna be yours. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, unfortunate but tough break for Qatar FA. Visa issues are usually hard, but talent does deserve opportunity, and like I said, in time, what's yours is gonna be yours, bro. Just keep grinding. You get me? Then we're gonna go into the final segment of this episode. This is something that was it's a high. You have to live on a high, and you get me. And I'm really happy about this. And I have to say big ups to everyone that was involved in this rescue. Big ups to everyone that made this happen. Big ups to everyone that made this possible. You get me? But the Oyo kidnapped students and teachers have been rescued. Yeah. That I have to give a little dance for that. Big ups to the Nigerian Army for coming through and shutting the thing down, boy. Like, they brought our kids home, they brought our family home. It's quite sad. Unfortunately, they lost 2 personnel during the operation, but a great sacrifice made for a greater purpose served. You get me? And that's what I have to say. Like, ever gallant. You guys keep marching forward. We appreciate your sacrifice. We respect your journey, and we love you guys immensely. We don't care about whatever this is not politics. Thank you to the Nigerian Army. Thank you to the Nigerian Army. Thank you to DSS for making that possible. But yeah, so the Nigerian Army announced after 56 days of via intense operations in Old Oyo National Park and other areas, that they have released and saved the kidnapped Oyo students and teachers. This abduction that happened on May 15th in Orire local government, Oyo State, it was of massive national concern, and the whole country was in arms. and and shouting and what's going on. These people were talking about it. Davido, OBO, Davido went on the World Cup stage, bringing attention to this, even though he got a lot of backlash from unnecessary and dumb people. But big ups Davido. I really want to say thank you to Davido for sharing his light and his moment during the World Cup when he didn't have to. He brought attention to this. He kept the attention on it. The attention was already there, but he kept it. How in Nigeria we have so much news in our news cycle that have so much tragedy sometimes that a lot of things we get numb to it. But Davido stuck on this, and that World Cup move I feel was a really good. I was probably one of the indicators as to why this happened. I'm not gonna speculate, but everyone did their part. But I just want to say Davido, OBO, big ups OBO, big ups OBO. But yeah, so the kids are back. We're happy about it. The Oyo children are back home. Unfortunately, during this whole process, while they were being held in captivity, 2 male adult teachers were murdered by these criminals and bandits. But we thank God that the children are back home. The principal is back home with her husband. The kids are home with their families. And as much as we have losses from some of the captives and the security personnel, but we are so grateful and we thank you once again to the Nigerian Army for a great job, well done. Thank you to the Major General, I forgot the general's name, but the Major General who led the operation. Thank you very much. Your sacrifices are noticed and they are valued. I really want to end this episode on a really good high, because obviously we have a lot going on in the country, but having this news that the kids have been released and rescued and they've been brought back home to their family, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for me. So ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the final episode. We've finished the final episode. We've come to the final topic of the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know who your biggest winner has been in this episode. Has been Rema, with the festival domination of Big Wiz shutting down Afro Nation, or Burna Boy with the streams, and who has been the biggest, who has had the biggest L? We're talking about, we're talking about Qatar with his visa, unfortunate. We're talking about the South Africans getting their ass sent back home, with the festival domination of Big Wiz shutting down Afro Nation, or Burna Boy with the streams, and who has been the biggest, who has had the biggest L? We're talking about, we're talking about Qatar with his visa, unfortunate. We're talking about the South Africans getting their ass sent back home. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. You will catch me on the next episode where we'll talk about every other thing, new music, new topics. And also, like you can tell, I'm wearing the merch as always. Merchandise is available. Follow us on all social media platforms and just send us a DM that you want the merch and you're gonna get it. Get me. Catch you guys very soon on the next episode. Bruh.